Ooh, scary. Run, rabbit, run. Hey, oh. Okay, I'll take that music out of there. Ambience. Welcome. My name's Chris Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facechook Live. Hey, and what's going on tonight is start to talk about 4 and actually 5-way independence, okay? And what I mean by that is over the last little bit, I get asked about the hi-hat a lot, more than you know, even just last week. What's that thing you do with the hi-hat? That kind of thing. And what goes on is you could play a normal rock beat. But then you can bring in the hi-hat, you see. The farmer have his fun. Hello everyone! He'll be fine without his rabbit hide. Rabbit run. Hey! And that's what goes on, you see. So what I'm doing here with the hi-hat is creating a 4th voice. Okay, so that's what I'd like to talk about. 4-way independence is what it's usually called, but I'd like to sometimes call it 5-way independence, because I got my gob yelling an age-old Run Rabbit Run song, and that's going to be a recurring theme tonight, because I'm going to come back and do Run Rabbit Run, Rabbit Run, Run. Don't let the farmer have his fun. You'll be fine. I sound like Uncle Arthur there. Hello everybody, how you going tonight? Without his apple pie. Who remembers Uncle Arthur? Do you remember Uncle Arthur, Alexi? From Comedy Company with Kylie Mole. Oh! He can't hear anything. He's a drummer like me. Run, don't let the have his fun. He'll be fine without his apple pie. Hey! So what goes on? Let me get into it a little bit here. Now, one of the great people that I love and adore is a wonderful drummer who I hope I can put up there, when I edit the show tomorrow, is Jack DeJohnette, who I mentioned so much. He just had this thing. Oh, it was like he just had 4 separate little people working his bits. John Abercrombie, the famous jazz guitarist, used to say this. He had some great stuff with Jack DeJohnette. But John Abercrombie used to say about Jack DeJohnette, Jack's got a great beat if you can find it. Lame. But anyway, that's what John Abercrombie used to say about Jack DeJohnette. Jack DeJohnette had such a beautiful drum set sound. It was beautiful with his ECM, flat ride cymbal that I don't have one at the moment. I used to have a couple. Anyway, there you go. I want them back. But this beautiful sound on the cymbal, this beautiful, he did this beautiful album with, I remember it was called Batik. And Ralph Towner, there it is, Batik, 1978. And this ride. You just keep that pulse going. Once you think and the hi-hat would just come in like that, And Eddie Gomez was on bass, and he was wonderful, and he had it bowed, and it was just long. And Ralph Towner and Eddie Gomez would be playing these long, beautiful notes on the title track, and underneath was Jack DeJohnette's flat ride. And then you'd hear the hi-hat coming, complete like a little separate thing. It was incredible. Okay, so there it is, batik. I'll put that up there as well later on. And so what happens is that when you're actually dealing with colours, you want something a little bit more out of your drum kit, this sort of business. And what can go on is that you can actually do different things in a four-way thing. Now let's when we're talking about four-way independence, let's work out what that is. You've got your two hands and your 2 feet. So what happens is when you're playing a basic rock beat, poor old left foot gets a bit left out, he's not invited to the party, mate, sort of thing. He's a bit like the third wheel or something, if you know what I mean. And so what happens is you've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 bass drums, bass drums. And the poor old left foot's going, well, what's in it for me? Where's my beer, mate? Where's my beer? How come I don't have a beer down here on the left-hand side? What's bloody going on? Okay. Hope I'm getting the same rates. Sorry. Was that not good, Alexi? You can't hear me? Okay, that's all right. Well, when I smile, just laugh, okay? Just laugh. That evil one. Do the evil one. That's good. That's all right. He's got it now. He's starting to roll, this little apprentice. But, oh, look, he gets a look in the old left foot. Have a look. Is that all I get? Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Rabbit. He'll do fine without his rabbit fine. Now let him off the leash. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the have his fun, fun. We'll do fine without his apple pie. I said apple pie, I meant rabbit pie. Stuffed it up, Alexi. Sorry about that, mate. Anyway, there you go. So what happens is with the left foot, when you're dealing with a rock beat, there's 3 bits. Okay, you've got both hands. Right hand, keeping the pulse. A bass drum, in this case 4 on the floor, like that, and then snare drum. And then what can happen is your left foot can come in like a nuance. So what can happen here is we usually start using the left foot, like I've told the tale of old H, my old, Harold Ripper, and you do this with on 2 and 4, mate. I'll be back in a bit. Do it on all 4. Do it on quavers like John Bonham. 16th notes. Oh my Lord, you know that story. I did it a little while ago. But what can also happen with the left foot is that you can shade, rather than the typical. You can shade. Now, Marcus Sastamoyne, you're out there. What happened is about a year ago, somewhere along the line, we were talking about Roger Taylor of Queen, and his little trick of the trade was to have the hi-hat open a little bit on the backbeat, so it'll be like. And I believe there's a clip in there, isn't it? Is that not on the classic albums, Marcus? I'm not sure. I can't read the comments, but just put. But what happens if I'm going to go down this track of the hi-hat? What goes on is, as I said, Marcus, Roger Taylor, Queen, all that. We were talking about that over a year ago on an earlier Facechook, I think. And that was wonderful. And so what happens is that's a four-way thing, right? So if I come back to Jack DeJohnette a little bit, because I'm zeroing in on him a little bit because of what I'm talking about. In the past, I've talked about, Jimmy Cobb I talked about last year, a tribute to him when he passed away. I've talked about Elvin Jones and Tony Williams and all that. But tonight, Jack gets a Guernsey. Now, one of the things about the hi-hat, I'm also have the hi-hat tambourine on, courtesy of Mr. Bonham, and all that. That's where it comes from. But that serves to sort of accentuate a little bit. And one of the things that I often get asked about, because this is why I'm doing this Facechook tonight, is what's this thing going on with the hi-hat? And it's hi-hat splashes. Now, I've got my boot cam down below. Hello, there you are. And you can see that I'm sort of just getting that going a little bit. And then when I wanted the normal hi-hat sound, there it is. So I put less pressure. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run. He'll get by without his rabbit. There you are, you see. There's that kind of stuff. So you can nuance it, you see. That's what goes on, you see. And what happens then is, why not do little things like this? If you're playing a normal rock beat, but maybe not on the hi-hat, why not double up? Just gives it a bit of extra, right? And then what I'm doing here is I'm sort of keeping a little bit the beat down here, and then what happens is with the little extras, you know, sort of thing. It's, you know, that's the the blonde backing singer with a tambourine sound, okay? Completely out of time. I just lost those 4 gigs straight off with that crack. Okay, I should have done that with the Shag and Malone mask on. Honestly, who's had one of those gigs where you've had like someone come up for the All-Star Jam and someone hands them a tambourine? So you got, it's like a Zappa polyrhythm, right? You got this normal, hey, and then all of a sudden, what's happening off the side? Hey! I'm getting my set bombed again. Hello, Susie, how are you? So what happens here, you know, that's the extra with the tambourine kind of sound there. But what goes on is, when you've got that, you've got 4-way independence. Now let me talk about a couple of things. Jack DeJohnette, who I'm talking about, did put out a book for exactly that. I don't even know if you can still get it. I'll put it up there later on, and he's got a book out on it. And I mentioned Chad Wackerman a couple of weeks ago. He put out his little hi-hat book as well, so it was like... Now, one of the bebop drumming books by, what's it? John Riley, the book 2. He actually has a Jack DeJohnette transcription from Jack DeJohnette's Pictures album. It looks really stupid when I'm doing it here live, but hopefully tomorrow there'll be the album popping up with our Final Cut Pro technology. And what happens with that is that I think it was Pictures. I don't know which Pictures it was. It's an ECM album. It's Jack DeJohnette. It's the Pictures album, and it's Pictures 1, Pictures 2, Pictures 3, 4, 5, 6. And there was one that just grabbed us all, I think. And then the aforementioned John Abercrombie comes in. I think I can hum it badly. Run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Don't let the farmer catch his fun. Fields and fine, loaded up and fine. Run, rabbit, run. Something like that without the run, rabbit, run. That's my recurring theme tonight. There's that. I believe there was a horror film put out a couple of years ago which used that line all the way through, so you knew someone was going to get like that. And yeah, this is turning into a bit of a horror show as well. So what happens? This little number here, my little most expensive piece of trash can lid here, that's a little bit of, let me talk about this a little bit actually, because they've fallen off a few times. Now, you have these little things called cymbal magnets and all that, aren't they wonderful and all that? And they'll have the brand name on the top, and it's like $40 or something, you know, and all that. But Bunnings fridge magnet, $12, mate. You can buy a whole pack. Very easy. And what happens is this is what goes on. Let me do this for you. This is a little sideways thing. Okay. Here's your cymbal. Nice, beautiful little 22-inch. Did I say little? I've had this. Oh, I've had a long time, about 1997, I think. I think a certain Mr. Murray Hyde helped me pick that one out. If you're there, Murray, there you go. But I've taken these two little cymbal fridge magnets, and I've got one on the top. Now, you heard the sound. I'll put one on the bottom. Oh, there they go. And you can move it around to however you want. There it is there. And have a listen now. Beautiful. Oh. Con the fruiter and jazz drummer. Oh, it's a beautiful, mate. Yeah. My next song is called Rula, Tula, Rula, Sula, and a Guppy. Who remembers the comedy company? Hey. I could do the next bit. Oh, it's Uncle Arthur doing the cymbal magnets, mate. Yeah, you're going there. Oh, back in my day. Yeah, we knick-knack, paddywhack, mate. We used to go on there and get the cymbal magnets back when I was a lad in the 1950s. Hey, it sounds like this. Beautiful. Oh, it's a beautiful, mate. Ah, Glenn Robbins, I hope you're watching. You made me laugh. You still do, mate. Russell Coit. Ah, there you go. Russell Coit plays drums. That'd be an idea. Russell Coit at the Alex Theatre. Yeah, here we go. A little bit of bush tucker there. What is it? So there you go. You got magnets. Magnets. And what I've got here is I put them on my little dinky splash cymbal. Taking a bit of extra time than what I need to do this. Oh, wrong way round. North Pole, South Pole. I remember that from school. Oh. Hey, there they are. And so my little splash cymbal has gone trashy. Okay, and you can adjust that to whatever. Ooh, that camera there, hello. You'll be able to pick that up. Dance to that, Alexi, with all that coffee you've had today. Oh. Yeah, no worries, I'll have this. It's a little slow love ballad. You're probably getting picked up on by camera 2 there. Hey. Oh, he's crashing the set now. He's getting cocky, this boy. Anyway, so what happens? Sit down. Relax. It's okay. Cool, blimey. What do you do with these little young whippersnappers? Anyway, so what happens is, if you want something short, now there's that form of a paramadoodle. But have a listen to the hi-hat. Run, rabbit, run. Rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun, fun, fun. He'll be fine without his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run. Oh, I got through that. That was 5-way independence. I had 2 hands, 2 feet, and a mouth. And if it was 6-way independence, hopefully a brain in the middle of it somewhere there. Core blimey. So, if you're after some fairly freaky beats and doing a few things, it's very important to think about what you can do with your extra limbs. I did this before, sorry. Jaws 14. The one with Michael Caine. He's one of my favourite actors, but that would have been one of the most B-grade of the B-grade Jaws. I think the technical term for that film was shithouse. I just pulled them out. I didn't tune them at all. It's a complete accident that I can play Jaws there. It's the floor tom that does it. So that's what goes on. You see, there's 4-way independence. Something like that. Anyway, I'm coming back to Jack DeJohnette's boutique there. What is the time? I've still got a bit of time. I'm not too bad here. Now, the other thing about 4-way independence is that with some, and it's true, it's actually quite applicable, you need to do it, is leave the hi-hat for the band is often the term. And one of the things that I talk about all the time, funnily enough, teachers do get repetitive sort of thing. 3 times the charm, apparently. Anyway, that's another story. But what happens is leave the hi-hat. I got into the splashes. Do I tell the tale again? A lot of you regulars would know it. I was doing that, but for the old Zappa band, for the Black Page and all that. All that business, I played it enough already. I played it just at Christmas for Zappa Claus. But what goes on is that they couldn't hear that because of, we'd all love to have a wonderful, huge PA system and all that. But, when you're doing the dodgy gigs, I would start splashing because you could hear it. But what was the wonderful bonus of this was it put air into the room, so to speak. Now, once again, when you're into prog stuff and you're doing things like that, one of the things that's big is Sprechensong, which is the classical term for it, but basically when a crooked politician has a meltdown and then people start to play along to it. It's wonderful. It's a whole other genre. There's lots of wrestling ones, like The Rock wants to know what's cooking in the kitchen. And then you've got David Doherty, he's the Irish drummer. And he goes, what was it again? The Rock wants to know what's happening in the kitchen. I'm going to get you, Latifah, and we're going to... And you can kiss my... and it sounds super weird without the actual person having the meltdown or having the rant and all that. But when you put it together, it's absolutely brilliant. And what happens is that when you are dealing with prog rock and all this sort of stuff, especially with the Frank Zappa and all the other stuff, you've got polymetric, polyrhythmic playing. But there's always going to be a pulse. Because what happens is if I just did that, like... Oh, they've gone again. Oh! Well, that does one thing, but if I just have that thing... Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun, fun, fun. He'll do fine without his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Dance to that, Alexi. Yeah, I see it, I got it, it's okay. We'll get it later. Okay, so what goes on here is when you're creating independence, make sure that you have a few things under your belt, okay? Back to boot camp. Now, with hi-hat, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Oh, you know what I'm getting at. So what happens there, I should start wrapping the show up. Oh, I got 1 minute left. Yeah. It's supposed to be 25 minutes for 31, so I'm actually 4 minutes over. But I'll keep on going for you folk here. So what happens is that what I'm talking about is really twofold. It's like four-way independence. But there's a book that I haven't mentioned yet it was a sensation when it came out. Teacher to the Stars a little bit, Gary Chester, and it was called The New Breed. And basically, it's a little bit, it precursors Terry Bozzio's wonderful ostinato music for his drum set, which is huge. Think of a piano. Hello. Think of all those keys over there. All right. 88 keys, perhaps, that kind of thing. And what happens is Terry Bozzio actually said, why not have 88 drums? Yeah. And cymbals to match. And all that. But what happens in our sort of world of 5 pieces and all that, what we try and do is become melodic, go with what we've got. And what happens with Gary Chester's New Breed book is that he would have an ostinato either with his hands or his feet. And it was 39, I believe. I don't know, he ran out of ideas, couldn't put together 40. But anyway, and what happened was you'd play them, and then he'd have reading exercises for the bass drum, snare drum, whatever. So you could have, say, something like a paradiddle, if I'm going to do that. So you could have a pattern like this, right? Oh, let me do it. So I've got 3 bits working there. I've got the hi-hat, I've got the right hand moving between the right cymbal and the floor tom, and I have the left hand doing the snare drum with the rim shot on 2 and 4. There's the bass drum. And it goes on like that. It goes on forever. You could be there forever doing things like that. And that's really good for your 4-way independence. You got all your bits going. Gary Chester, in his intro to that book, I can see it when I close my eyes, I can see the page. He says, sing And make sure that when you're playing, try and sing while you're going. And just that paragraph alone has been a curse for all drummers forevermore. And everybody else in the band, oh shit, the drummer's singing again, Jesus Christ. Hey, run, rabbit, run, run, run. He fancies himself as a singer, oh my Lord. Run, rabbit, run, run, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun. He'll do fine without his apple pie. I said apple again. Smoke me a bloody rabbit pie. Run. I'm losing it now. Run, rabbit, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun. He'll do fine without his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run. I think I'm channeling Alice Cooper there. I love the dead before they're cold. They're blue ink flesh for me to hold. $1 billion babe. That's another thing. I did that last year. But what happens is that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to bid you a fond farewell. And what will happen over the next few weeks is going to be, everything's happening. I may be able to invite a few of you beautiful people into this foyer. And we will let you know about that. So this may be a weekly kind of live little thing, fully understanding that it is Friday at 6 o'clock. Makes it a bit tricky. I was actually going to have a wonderful guest tonight, but hopefully they will come next week. And also some of the beautiful people that I was working with last year with all the clips and everything, hopefully they will be making a fond return here on a semi-regular basis as well. So there we go. So I'm out of here, and here we go, and run. Rabbit, run. Rabbit, run. Don't let the farmer have his fun. He'll be fine without his rabbit pie. Run, rabbit, run. 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 Oh, I'm out of here now. Hey!